This is 15 for 15, the story of Ragonk. It was October of 2014. Former Ticket Top 10 host T.C. Fleming had recently started his second stint of employment with the Ticket in Dallas and was now manning the ticker anchor spot from 10 to 3. As he prepared to deliver a tease for one of his reports, something went horribly wrong.
Ragonk. I'm TC, Rolanda McClain status. Next.
I remember exactly where I was. I was in the control room, and I was standing between Jake and Mino. And I don't know, maybe we were, talking about how cool it is to work for Cumulus, or just one of those things we talk about while we're in the control room together, mapping out the next segment. And I do recall Mino reaching over to hit the sounder for the ticker tease. And I remember hearing the Ragonk. And immediately Jake, lifted his little ferret head and looked right at me. And he had that weird smile, and I looked over at Mino, and we all had a moment where we knew something happened, but there's no way we knew what it would turn into.
A couple of days later, Fleming would be nominated for the Emergency Break of the Week Award, presented by morning muser George Dunham.
I was in the control room, and Jer and I were reviewing candidates for the Emergency Break of the Week, and I'd heard about Ragonk, or that TC had said something really funny, and no one really knew exactly what it was. And then Jer and I listened, and it was a moment I'll never forget. Speaking of TC, he's had a rather rough week, and it starts with a very strange noise made in a ticket ticker tease, and then a meltdown where he couldn't read his own writing.
Ragonk. I'm TC, Rolanda McClain status. Next.
I love that sound.
Ragonk.
Ragonk. That's running together Rolando McClain.
Ragonk.
All right, let's hear the tease one more time just to hear that noise.
Ragonk. I'm TC, Rolanda McClain status. Next.
TC makes funny noises. He had the
whole. You know what was funny there is not only the noise, but his sigh after the noise. Defeat. Yeah, the defeat.
All right, one more time.
Ragonk. I'm TC, Rolanda McClain status. Next.
It's like he knows that's going to be replayed forever now. Right.
Hi, you're on the ticket. Who wins the e-break?
Yes, I'd like to vote for TC, and I love you, Gordo.
Oh, there you go, Gordo.
Who's
You
this
actually have someone
guy?
who likes you out there. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. T.C. Fleming. You had no idea that it would take on a life of its own. I did think it was really funny, though, because I'd never heard that word before, and yet hearing it for the first time, it had already jumped into my top 5 of funniest words I've ever heard. I mean, Ragonk. I don't know if there is a funnier word. I always thought sandwich was really funny, or boing, or something like that. But Ragonk, instantly, with me, it registered as one of the funniest things I'd ever heard.
For many of us who consider nostalgia a big player in our life, we do think back to the original Batman, where the sound effects would appear on the screen in bubbles, and they would try to capture with letters the sounds of Batman landing a punch on, say, the Penguin or some other foe. And I do believe that one of the terms for an extra strong punch would be Ragonk.
It's kind of fun to say around the house just when you're cutting up a sandwich or, just kind of walking around. You just start saying it. So it's a fun word to say, and I don't know why, because there's no such word as gonking, but you can re-gonk something. I think what's happened here is it's become a multi-purpose word. It's kind of like the word Smurf for the Smurfs. You can use it as a substitute for anything.
Fleming perhaps thought that Hurricane Ragonk would quickly pass after his e-brake win, but the infectious nature of the word, coupled with his staunch opposition to its use, resulted in a storm that was just beginning.
Like, I think that's a product of today's day and age type thing, that something could blow up and have its life cycle so fast. It was incredible, the fact that in a few short hours, all of a sudden there's a website, there's T-shirts for sale.
You know, Cash and I worked together at his creative production place, The Well, and we just had our feet up, and I don't know if we were just talking about how stupid the word was, and we're like, let's check if that's a website. So we literally go to the GoDaddy or whatever and go to Ragonk.com, and I think it said it was $4 for the year. And I'm like, done. I don't even know what the hell we'll do with it, but done.
After Ragonk was starting to kind of get a little bit of steam, we picked up Ragonk.com as a joke for like, I don't know, $4 for the year. And it kind of sat for a few days. We didn't really do anything with it. And then we had a slow day at work, and we were just like, why don't we just start to screw around with this? So I used my one semester of high school webmastering to kind of, like, it looks like it's bad on purpose, but that is as best as I could do with my limited webmastering knowledge of just knowing how to change colors and fonts and basically throw up a picture, and that's how the website kind of started to form.
It just kept blowing up, so we're like, all right, let's put quotes up there, and let's put games. And once you decided to put the crossword puzzle with just one word on it, or the word search, dude, I mean, we were dying laughing as we were doing it. And then luckily, you know, we have enough Twitter followers or whatever to get enough people to see this crap. And it just kind of went from there. But, man, it was funny as hell, man. It's fun.
We wanted to make this, like, a cultural hub where people could come to have fun. You know, you can get media, you can get songs, and so we figured what's more fun than games. So we made some word searches, and we made some Hangman. No, we never found Hangman. Mike harped on me for weeks to look for Hangman, and we never found it, but we got a lot of fun games on there.
Ragonk is so stupid that it just is funny. Hashtag Ragonk.
No,
Ragonk T-shirts.
And there's times when
the name of this program is Ragonk.
There's times I do think it's funny. There absolutely.
When is it funny to you?
If
the website,
the ones that the Soroy made, no, that's not funny at all. That's the most.
Not even
pointed.
the word search that they had when
the word search is funny. The word
All
search
right.
is unabashedly humorous.
Yeah. When it was all just right there in a line.
Like, he asked me about the website. He's like, he kind of said, oh, I want you, you're going to take that down, take down my likeness. And just by saying likeness, you know, it's like so like wannabe courtroom using my likeness. Like, dude, we went to Cafe Press and just put the one JPEG we had, and they're like, if you can put it on this. We just kept clicking every button. We're like, yeah, let's make a ring. People are going to buy a ring with that picture on it. It says, you know, so it's become what it's become. And I'm like, TC, I'm not taking the website down. I'm not doing anything because this is for the P1. Tens of thousands of people are laughing at this stupid word, and your reaction is causing a lot of that laughter. So, yeah, he got all worked up, but I frankly don't care. And I was like, well, no, I'm not taking it down. So now what?
Whatever you guys do, don't say Ragonk in the next 2 hours, though, okay?
Really?
Was he getting mad at it?
Yeah, he's in there now getting ready to do his
Dude.
voice. Don't.
It's worse than you think. You don't know about
It is worse than you think.
What do you mean?
It's bad.
It's gotten hostile
I think
Behind the scenes or on the?
in the last 15 minutes.
I think he can hear.
Think he's listening?
Yeah, because
Is he
he's
looking?
looking at
I
us with
think
his
he's
headphones
doing
on.
okay. He's doing a bit.
No, he's not.
He's not. He's really
It
mad
is-
about Ragonk.
But it makes no sense to be mad about that.
You
I
think?
agree.
Isn't the P1 happy?
One P1 in particular who was very happy was Christopher Kid Reed of Kid and Play fame, among other ventures. Through the miracle of the GBL, Kid had become a friend of Bad Radio and a massive P1. Fleming and Kemp went to see Kid in concert the night before Fleming's wedding, at which time this moment transpired.
And what was his interaction with TC earlier?
We're talking to him about the wedding is tomorrow, and he's kind of speaking in generalities about I've been in a lot of relationships, and he's like, man, I got some advice for you. And he pulled TC in close, just right into his ear, goes, Ragonk. Just the look on TC's face, just all emotion drains from him.
Kid even went so far as to work his new favorite word in a performance at a Clippers game.
Clay and I were actually in Los Angeles performing at halftime for the L.A. Clippers game. This packed house, sold out, and we had our halftime performance. It went really well, and we were so well received that I was so overcome with emotion. I looked out at the throng, 18,000 strong, and I raised my hand and bellowed into the mic, "Ragonk!" And 18,000 people looked at me like, what the f***? And those 18,000 people included Play. It was like 18,001. He looked at me and said, like, he's kind of religious, so I think he actually thought I'd been possessed by the devil. He's like, what the hell is Ragonk?
But Kid would not be the last megastar to have a dalliance with the newest word of the year.
We talked to Brandon Carr last week in London.
Yes.
And he was searching for a word. He was trying to describe, Marinelli's approach or something. He goes,
hunker down and get ready for November, December, because, now it's time for some real football. It's going to be a lot of, what's the good word? What's the word I can use?
Ragonk.
It's not Ragonk. It's
okay.
something else.
Give me a simple word.
Ragonk.
It's time to turn up a notch. November, December is when you.
That's awesome. Brandon Carr. What's the word?
The word has actually taken off to a point that there are Ragonk truthers with their own conspiracy theories about what exactly was said.
And interestingly enough, it doesn't really sound like Ragonk. But Ragonk is just so fun to say that Ragonk kind of took off on its own. But if you listen closely, as I recall, it sounds more like Urkel. But I think Urkel.com would just really confuse a lot of people.
I feel this entire time that if I were to phonetically spell what I heard, it is much closer to Urkel than it is Ragonk. And that's always bothered me, and I just want that out there for the record, is I don't think he says Ragonk. I think he says something like Urkel or something along those lines, and I just don't know that that's ever been hashed out properly.
The fact that TC is beaten by it has to have helped it grow as well. I mean, that's just like a little fertilizer, right? That when you see it, when you see the look on his face when you talk Ragonk, it doesn't make you want to slow down. I mean, that's the way the culture is around here.
Every single person up here has made involuntary sounds. Every single person up here. In fact, I'm willing to confess I've made involuntary sounds on the air with my bottom.
You have a lot of people out there that are probably fit
who maybe
to coach an NBA team, but they won't get a shot because they look to recycle.
It won't smell like yours.
I just heard something Bob did.
We've got fart wars breaking.
This is so horrible. It's ridiculous.
Man. And, by the way, if you pull up your shirt over your mouth like a bandit's mask, that is a warning.
And I didn't mean to do it, but it was there and it was recorded. I mean, Norm has made just about every internal organ of Norm's has made an appearance on the air involuntarily.
They've lost DeMarcus Lawrence. This defense, Rod Marinelli is going to have to use mirrors on this defense.
But they've handed out, we got in our little media pack, these little things you put in your shoes that heat your feet. What?
And those would all have, I would assume, equal weight if Norm or Rhines or Corby or even, if I would have tried to fight it.
There's a long history of bad radio ticker guys, maybe not necessarily rolling with the punches when it comes to ribbing for stuff that has occurred on the air.
So why didn't you stuff?
Stuff.
Explain that.
Driving. Car stuff.
What does that mean?
Don't worry about it. God, don't bog.
Well, I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
wow.
You're the one who jumped into our conversation, dude.
Oh, okay. That's it.
Let's go prepare a ticker. How about?
Let's all be nice.
I'm going to the corner. I can't take this.
Let's all be nice.
If you want to walk into a conversation, say, I wish I could have gone, but I couldn't. That is leading statement guy. Now, if you want to turn around and tell me I'm bogging on my own show, then you might want to turn off your mic.
Fine.
I interrupted a national moment of silence, and I've never been more humiliated and embarrassed in all my life. And for a while, we all respected the fact that we shouldn't laugh at it, but now we play it, and it's still embarrassing.
Please join us in silence as we remember those innocent Americans lost in this unconscionable, cowardly act of terrorism on our nation.
Paul in...
KTCK, Dallas-Fort Worth.
That was our moment of
KTBK,
silence.
Sherman Denison.
Sorry.
KTDK, Sanger.
I'm very sorry about that. I wasn't paying attention. I'm very sorry.
But that's far worse than saying a hilarious word like Ragonk. He needs to take ownership of it, own it, and just, enjoy the revenue stream that's going to be associated with it.
Go to Ragonk.com.
I'm going to help you out.
Get your T-shirt.
All right. It is interesting, though, TC, that if you had never been born, that website would have gone unsold for the entirety of human history.
I can agree that's interesting.
It cost us $1.99 for a whole year.
It wasn't like Pepsi.com.
That has to be the cheapest website sold.
We're like, yeah, take it. I don't know, take it.
It's available.
Oh, thank God, we sold it.
Goodness, yeah. They'd been waiting. That business had been waiting to close down until they cleared all their inventory, and finally, the last thing on the shelf sold.
You know what, TC, when you pass away, if your headstone says anything but Ragonk, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Yes, there will be.
Prepare for disappointment.
No matter what your parents put on your tombstone, it will be stolen and replaced.
We're going to work this out. We're going to work it out.
It should have one word on it.
Ragonk.com. Frankly, though, I'm just sick of hearing the damn word Ragonk. And I never want to hear it again. And it kind of bugs me now every time I hear it. So if that's the ultimate win for TC, then he should take it.
Yeah, he's being Ragonk about Ragonk. And it needs to stop. Stop right now before he Ragonks himself.
Ragonk is something that I think TC can completely Ragonk back from. And I think he will.
Join us next month and every month as we celebrate 15 years of verbal miscues and other moments of bad radio greatness on 15 for 15.
Ragonk. Ragonk.
What's so great about that?